it is time for Players Only. And with Lance Briggs and Corey Wootton here with me, we got to talk about this defense, man, and how they did what they did just enough. What did you think about the linebacker play today?
Well, I'll say this. I think early on, getting downhill into their gaps, the Steelers started the game with a misdirection play, which I thought they were going to hold a lot more of, and I think there were essence of that where there were handoffs, to DK around the end. We struggled a little bit with that, but what I did like, especially in that second half, there was great effort. There was effort. There was effort, and you saw it on third. It was third and short with a swing screen and huge effort from Jackson, just heading down, getting to the ball. When you have effort like that, you give us a chance. You'll have a chance.
Exactly. I agree with Lance. Early on with the zone reads, the misdirection, right, the end is spilling, so the linebacker fills off them, and they weren't doing that. Their eyes were inside early on. But I agree with you. As the game went on, the effort was there. Was it perfect? But effort flying around, good things are going to happen. And we saw them clean up some of those things. There were some still gashing runs, right, but not as bad as the first half. So
we couldn't set an edge. Not at all. We couldn't set an edge at all, and a lot of that was the linebackers. There were times where I could see the DNs were running that stunt, and linebackers have to come down right now and set an edge. We didn't do that. We didn't do a good job setting the edge, but the effort was there, and it showed, and Nahshon Wright. Nahshon Wright is having a year.
Pro Bowl caliber.
He's having a year, and it's interesting because quarterbacks will throw a 50-50 ball against a 6'4" corner. Like you want to do that to the other side, the 5'10" guy, or at least wait till DK's over there with the 6'4" corner, that has a chance. So I love that effect. It's we're 8-3.
Exactly. And you talked about Wright. I think people need to start putting some respect on his name.
Come on.
Put some respect
on his name.
Do you see the picks that he's had? Obviously, the Vikings one, but I think this one might have been better. I mean, unbelievable. His range, his length, it's a thing of beauty, and he's a guy that's never been a starter in this league. So this is his coming out party. He's able to showcase what he can do. Yeah. And with all the injuries, think about it. If all these injuries didn't happen, he wouldn't have a chance to showcase what he's doing. So hats off to him. Seems like a great guy, and he's really reinvigorating this defense.
I love it.
Well, and by the way, he almost had a second interception in this game, too. He was close on high point in that one. I think they learned their lesson. Maybe stop throwing 50-50 balls that way with his size and length. And now here you go. I think a lot of people are expecting Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon to return Friday in Philly. Now Tyreek Stevenson went out with a hip that he was already bothered by, and it got aggravated today. But that's what the beauty of having Nahshon Wright. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's crazy that we're almost living in a world where he might not be a starter come Friday, even though he's a Pro Bowler.
That's the crazy part about it.
You know what I mean?
If you have a choice between him and Stevenson, I'm picking him all day.
Well, here's the other thing, too, is, when we talk about, him not starting, not so fast. Just, these guys haven't played, majority of this year. So whether they start or they don't, they're going to be on a pitch count. Yep. A lot of guys, and the good thing is there's players on this defense that are proving that they can play. So they don't have to throw Jalen Johnson in to play a full game.
He's not ready
right? You know what I mean? Let them. You want to ease those guys in there because you want to have them for the long term. Exactly. Right now we're talking playoffs.
Exactly.
Now we're talking playoffs, fellas. We can talk playoffs now.
Different ball game right now, but yeah, like that's what I was thinking. When Jalen Johnson comes back full time, you have to make that decision between Tyreek Stevenson and Wright. Like who are you going to go with? And I think you got to go with the hot hand because I think he's played better consistently than Stevenson, and you
can also play matchups too.
That's true.
You can play matchups. We're going against a team with a lot of short receivers. Put Tyreek in a lot of tall receivers. Then that's a Nahshon Wright assignment. So it's a lot you can do with that. There's a lot you can do.
Now I'm the one that started this discussion, so I'll blame myself. But I'd also like to just see these guys come back healthy and play a good amount of snaps.
No doubt.
You look at this defense, the amount of injuries, it'd be nice to live in a world where they have 4 starters and, they have 4 starting linebackers too. But, we got to see that first. The point being, I I just thought this was a really gutsy win with all those injuries that you had, some of the mistakes that had, a lot in the NFL, man. When you have a sack fumble that turns into a touchdown against you, and you have that tush push fake
huge play for almost
come
touchdown.
Around touchdown, those are two back-breaking plays that they overcame. That's a big deal.
Yeah. The tush push end around, it was sparked last week, so it made major news. It should be a play that you practice during the week.
Yep.
It'd say, hey, listen, this came up. They were not prepared for it. So to see that be effective or not see anybody on the edge, partly, we're missing all three of our starting linebackers. Maybe that's something that, hey, we don't have enough time to get you guys caught up to speed to know this play right here.
Exactly.
The other is, just be a ball player and get over there and make a play. However, even with all that being said, Bears still found a way to make it to win the game. So it's something to be said about it.
Yep. Ben Johnson, hats off to him. He's done an incredible job from starting 0-2, direction we thought the season was going to go, rallied the ship, got everybody on board despite the injuries, finding ways to win. Dennis Allen as well. So him and Ben Johnson have done a great job offensively and defensively, regardless of what's in front of them, the injuries, any adversity that happens during the game, always staying positive and finding a way to make adjustments.
We got to stop the run.
100%.
We got to find a way to stop the run. This team I think they had 125 yards rushing.
Right, averaging 5 a pop at
in
least.
half.
Yeah.
In the first half alone,
A lot of that was that end around
Yeah.
play. But it still happened. Yeah.
It still had yeah. We have to find a way to reduce the rushing yards so that opens our opponents because even with that end around in there, it's something that has been consistently happening all year.
And with the run game today, I didn't feel like it was a game where some of the other ones where they got dominated on the line of scrimmage. It was all gap discipline stuff.
Yeah.
Just simply setting the edge, right? Not peekaboo in here, letting somebody get outside. So I think that's something that you can correct. That's the great part about it. It's not like they drove them down the field. They were pancaking guys. It's just all about gap discipline, and it kind of makes sense with those guys not having the experience, right? They were special teamers and guys that were on the practice squad to going out there playing 60, 70 snaps in a game.
I was thinking about length. I was just looking at you. I was thinking about length, and I was thinking about what a game Montez Sweat had today.
He did.
And how he used that length.
Long arm.
Yes. He wrapped around
exactly
and wrenched it off with Mason, or was it Rudolph?
Rudolph.
With Rudolph. Yeah, got Rudolph. It was listen, a lot of guys can do that. I couldn't have done that. I couldn't be engaged with a guy, reach around and grab Rudolph the way he did.
Yeah, the way Montez Sweat has played like the last 6 games. Yeah. Because early on we talked about this. He's not living up to his contract, not living up to the big money he's getting paid. And week in and week out, I think he has 6 sacks in the last 6 weeks, I believe.
Yeah,
something like that.
He's coming on.
He is coming alive, and that's something they need. Obviously, they need somebody opposite him.
Right.
Booker is kind of flashed. But I guess that's why Dennis Allen has been dialing up the blitz. In a game like today, he tried to simplify that, especially with the new guys being out there.
Yeah,
the third sack was funny. The potential third sack.
Those are ones
get your weight up, doggone it. Get your doggone weight up.
This type of game, though, you got to have your big veterans come up, and I thought Grady Jarrett did that too at times, and he did so last week as well. So credit to those guys. When you're banged up like this, Montez Sweat putting the defense on his back was a really good thing.